Let's go ahead and check this out, guys. This is from the video game. Somebody tell me what year this video game released? Or if there are many iterations of this video game, what year it was released and this OST track was a part of it. What year was that? Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So here we go, guys. From Transistor, this is The Spine. All right. Oh, this is sick.
Just skin and bones, nothing inside. Sleeping alone, fingers tied. Cells in night.
Come back to that.
Around the heart, it beats in time. I see the spine of the world, sparkle and shine like the inside. I see the spine of the world. I know it's mine, twisted and tight. You always go.
All right, this is killer. This checks off a lot of boxes for me, not only as a listener but as a composer, especially using sound dynamics, meaning playing with the fact that it pulls in very nicely in the middle. You have that guitar that's just got this really super chill, kind of slow, secretive kind of vibe that he's playing with a little bit of like a warm, I don't want to say an overdrive. Maybe there's a little bit of an overdrive on there, maybe playing with his neck pickup, but it's right, it's pocketed in here. Then we had that really unique kind of sequence percussion that's happening there, like some kind of a loop that's going there, percussive loop, but it had kind of a lo-fi, compression to it. But remember when I was doing this, I was going, whoa, whoa. There was something that was being triggered way at the bottom end that gave you the sensation of pulsing. So like even I think it'll probably repeat itself here. If it does, watch me go like this, and what it does is it just pulls your ears, just makes it go, it kind of pops your chest out. Then they went into that like nice little turnaround where it got very melodic and stuff, it was really super cool. But then at that point I started really dialing into her voice, and from what I understand, somebody had said that this is the voice of the character. So I'm learning so much about video games, more than I ever thought was out there. So that thing between video games, voices, and singing seems to be a pliable thread. So if this is her singing about something or whatever, or whoever this vocal is, she's just phenomenal.
Walking on coals, walk away slow, feel the fire, light your way to me, my siren song for you. I see the spine of the world, sparkle and shine
very swimmy in their use of different sounds there, giving it that ambient ethereal kind of vibe. So it's got this kind of trip hoppy kind of, I don't know what the exact name of the genre is, there's so many of them. But even though they've come back in with the guitar, you know, kind of brought us something that we were familiar with. That's what it opened up with. There's these two other arrangements that are happening here. One of them sounds like it could be just a regular electric piano sound, but has a definitive left-right kind of vibrato, kind of swimming in tempo. But there's also something in the background that's definitely on a higher end, but sunk all the way in the back, that's holding down and keeping together this ethereal pad vibe, you know. And let's not forget, I mean, it's also the way she's singing, the reverb on her voice and everything. And then the two things that keep us at least from completely drifting away in what I would call like in a liquid abyss of ambience is the fact that we've got that kind of trip hip hop loop going. It's very spongy sounding. Like I said, it's got that lo-fi compressed sound, but the one super clean sound outside of her voice that I'm laying onto, and I'm just going, even though it's sparse, is the bass line on this. You know, and even though it's just kind of chill and laying back and stuff, there's a couple things that the bass player does every now and then that just kind of brings it home for me, that boo, and that's just the dynamic, you know, so.
Get closer, much closer. I see the spine of the world, sparkle and shine like the inside. I see the spine of the world. You know it's mine, twisted and tight.
Love that mandolin vibe that they, now I don't know if that had been there and I just didn't notice it, or maybe I thought it had something else to do with one of the layers in the background that could have been stacked. So a lot of times when I'm listening to things, I have to try to define on the fly whether it's something that I'm listening to that's a stacked vibe. So that's when they'll sit there and they'll take different MIDI patches and build their own sounds, if it has something to do with it, or if it's an independent. Now, when they do things like this, where you guys have heard me in the past talk about, I love when, at least more so in songs than in compositions, but at the end of songs, when a lot of times the engineers and the producers will just decide to peel away the layers as you come to the end, instead of maybe getting a fade. So they might pull back all of a sudden, you know, a piano and a guitar and something, and then they leave you with a couple of components that have been through the track. And that might be that component and, you know, just her voice, just like how we heard it. And it sounded like it was doubled. That was another cool thing. That mandolin sounded like it was doubled. And that's a tough thing to do too, because even though there's, you know, great mandolin players, the articulation between the pick and the string and stuff doubling something like that, that's pretty tough. So that was great.